picking a really random time to come on here live. So hopefully someone shows up. We shall see. What time is it? It is 9:29. That is a weird time. Hello! How are you? Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in a long time. I'm excited. Yay! What's going on with you? Hi, Clara. Yay! I'm like, this is a really weird time to come on here, but my head is just swirling with stuff, so I was like, oh my gosh, I just want to talk. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I know how that goes because I'm the same way, so definitely watch videos and don't always have time to comment, but especially I like to watch them like if I'm like on my exercise bike or something, and then I can't comment while I'm doing that. Hello, Kathleen. Yay. Feeling a little lazy? I hear ya. I'm winding down the night now. It's like 9:30 here. I was at church for youth group earlier. It's just, I don't know. I just wanted to kind of like talk to you guys about some stuff because, oh, that's a good plan too. Um, the world is a crazy place right now, and it's just crazy to me, and like all this stuff keeps swirling in my head, and I'm like, you know what? Sometimes you just need to talk. There, now you got it, Clara. I saw you were having some trouble there with some typos. Oh my gosh, girl, you make me laugh. I love you. I was watching and I'm like, I know she's meaning to say hi to Kathleen. It's just not coming out. Okay, well, seriously, it's not like about me personally, really. It's just, hi Penny, yay! Just the way the world is right now with the whole coronavirus thing is blowing my mind. Like, has anything in history ever been like this where they're like closing down things? Like, now I know like universities are closing down, and while we were at youth group tonight, kids were getting the text that our local community college is closed down for like next week or the next week, and it's just crazy to me. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not freaking out about it because freaking out about things doesn't do you any good anyway. But, it's just so strange, like, that this is happening. And you don't want to be, like, not take things seriously enough either. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I don't know. What do you guys think about it? Like, I just feel like it's so crazy. Oh no! Am I laggy for you guys? Okay, I'm gonna be really honest too. This is irritating me, but lately we live in a rural area. We have one option for our internet, and we have had so many issues with it. Oh, social media definitely makes things worse. Oh, okay, Penny. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was me. Like, my husband took the day off work last week for the people to come out and figure out if it was something here or in the lines out in the road. They gave us a new modem and everything. They spent like hours. He thought he was just going to take part of the day. Oh, I wish it was storming here. I want some good storms. Either snow or rain. Give me either one. But yeah, so we've had issues with our internet even since they supposedly fixed it. We keep having issues and we have to reset it and everything. So it is a pain. But yeah, I guess my thing that I keep thinking about with the whole like shutting down of things, if there's a 2-week incubation period, doesn't it seem like it doesn't do any good for universities to shut down right now if everything else is still going on? Do you know what I mean? Like, people are still all going to be interacting in other places. Doesn't seem if they're going to do, because I know they're talking about with like public schools and stuff too. This is an ongoing conversation that's been going on now for a week or more. Doesn't everything need to shut down for 2 weeks together? Like, kind of like a mass quarantine kind of thing, so that nobody is leaving their homes and potentially infecting one another. Like, only the people who it's absolutely necessary, so like healthcare workers and things like that. And even in those situations, although it would be horrible, it's almost like they would have to stay in the hospitals, and so they're not going back home to their families and potentially infecting. It's like it's just like, it blows my mind. Like, if it really, is that big of a deal that we're shutting things down, I don't understand how staggeringly shutting things down is gonna be effective. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody else get what I mean? Right. Yeah, they are talking about doing online for schools. And like, okay, great. But do you see what I'm saying though? Like it seems like everything needs to shut down for 2 weeks then, because if you're still having people all over the place, gross. Uh, it's just absolutely crazy. I saw a 60 Minutes thing where they were talking about like it's Mother Nature's revenge because it's like people eating things that aren't supposed to be eaten, like these animals that aren't meant for food, and like, which I don't believe in Mother Nature because I'm a Christian, but you know, you kind of does make you wonder. Like, I don't think God meant for us to eat some of those things that people are eating either. Like, I don't get it. I mean, I get it. It's different culturally, so I don't want to be insensitive to different cultures, but you know, it's things that aren't. I don't know. I don't know. It's like crazy. But yeah, I guess taking like wild animals and making them food as opposed to like, you know, cats and stuff. Yeah, because I know like bats and stuff carry all sorts of disease. Like, I don't, it's just, the whole thing is so crazy to me. So crazy. So, I mean, we don't just have to talk about this coronavirus thing, but it was like, oh my gosh. And like, you know, the kids at church, like, they're not freaking out or anything, but like, you're just like, this is crazy. Like, what's going on? You know? And I'm like, I know, like, in our lifetime for sure, but has it ever been in history even where like universities and everything are shutting down? Hi, Mandy. Yay. I get so excited when I see everybody show up. I'm like, oh, I love you all. I get just so excited. And I never do lives. I always say, I'm going to do more. I'm going to do more lives. But then I'm like, I don't know why I don't. I don't. I guess it's the same with like, I'm always like, I'm going to record today. Oh, I'm going to do this. And then I don't. I could just hear my husband and my son are on the other side of the wall here, and I could hear them listening to something with Trump. I am feeling better. Thank you. This is something also that I was just talking about today, Mandy, was rabies for sure with bats. My migraines are ridiculous, and my doctor switched up my hormone medication a little bit and like upped it a little bit to try to help. Hopefully that will, because my my migraines are mostly hormonal, and so she was trying to counteract the like, you know, major drop you have of your hormones type thing, and so to up. Only part of the time though. Like I take my regular dose like days 1 through 15 or 16 of my cycle, 15. And 16 through 26 I take a higher dose. This is kind of what we're trying right now. And I'm so sorry, I totally just missed your comment, Mandy. I'm like blah, talking and didn't see. I wish they like stayed up longer. But so last month was my first month doing that, and I had a migraine that wasn't as severe as normal, but it lasted almost 3 days instead of 2, so that was misery. And I am like just kind of to the point where I'm like, if it does not work this month, I feel like it's time to just go, okay, I have to go back to a migraine medication, because as much as I don't want to do that, okay, so here's the thing. My issue I'm having with the hormones is, and my doctor warned me about this, she warned me when we first started me on hormones, that the potential for weight gain, and usually because it's like your body retains more water, they will show up, I promise. Because I always think the same thing, and then people show up. And honestly, I don't care if there's one person here that I'm chatting back and forth with, I'll be happy. Like, it's just fun to be able to, like, kind of feel more like I'm talking to you guys instead of just talking at you when I, you know, do regular videos or whatever. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm retaining water so bad. I feel awful. I feel absolutely awful. And that's how I feel. Like, I have gained 10 pounds since Christmas, and that wasn't because of the migraine. I mean, oh my gosh, I am interchanging migraine and hormone like it's the same thing. It wasn't because of the hormone medication, because that wasn't up until after. But I was just like, it's about anything. It's about hormones and all sorts of stuff. I have not tested for cluster migraines. I'm not sure, because they always kind of happen at the same point in my cycle. We know there's hormones related, because also my grandma, my mom, and one of my aunts, and then now my youngest sister all have the same thing too, where around the same time in their cycles they had them, but once they hit menopause, they stopped. So that's another reason we know that a lot of it is hormone related. So at least I have the hope of menopause, but I'm not ready for that yet either, you know. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm feeling really bloated and uncomfortable. Like I have not felt this uncomfortable in my body in years, and I hate it, and it's making me like not depressed, but just kind of down, you know. And I know I'm not like it's not horrible like I'm horribly overweight or anything like that. I just feel yucky. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're just gonna ignore that. I don't know how to make someone a moderator, so and I don't even know if I can right now. So we will just pretend we don't see things that we don't want to. Okay. But anyway, so oh, see, Mandy, and that's I mean, I hear so many people like with issues. Like my one aunt had to have a hysterectomy really young too, and she had so many issues, and she was teeny tiny her whole life, and then after that, her weight just kept going up and up and up, and she has struggled so much ever since to try to like you know lose weight or just even maintain something. It's so frustrating. Why do we have to deal with all this? Like it drives me crazy. I'm gonna be totally honest. I get like so irritated and not it's not fair. Thank you, Clara. Um, but I get so frustrated when there's people who like can just shovel in food like crazy and never gain weight. And I'm like, I'm over here like trying so hard, working out and you know, whatever. And okay, but I don't know how to see. Oh wait, add moderator. Okay, I'll make you a moderator there, Penny. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know. Um, those people are evil. But I feel bad. You know, everyone is made the way they are, and I don't like fault people for I mean, you know, you can't do anything about your body type, but it's just so frustrating to see like some people just, you know, go through life and eat whatever they want and they don't have to think, you know, give it a second thought. And it's like so much on my mind all the time. Like, oh my gosh, if I eat that, like it's probably gonna make me retain water or gain weight or and I'm a salt fiend, so that is very hard for me. I have to be very mindful of it because I love salt so much. And I don't need extra help with the holding on to water weight. So I'm kind of at the point right now, yeah, I'm like, if this upping my hormone medication does not help with migraines, I'm gonna like cut back on it because I don't need the help of, I mean, I'm not kidding. My pants feel so tight. Salt and carbs, I know. But my pants around my waist right now, like I've got a muffin top. I did not have that. And I felt so good for, I mean, I was heavy for a long time. And then I lost all that weight, kept it off for like 3 years. And then all of a sudden it's just been creeping back on all of a sudden. And it's making me crazy. So I'm just super uncomfortable. Like I feel like I'm being choked by my pants. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like even though it's your waist, I literally feel like it's like choking me. Oh, I can't stand it. And it makes me feel like sick. And then my lower back will hurt because I realize because I'm sucking in so hard and my pants are so tight. I'm so frustrated. So then I get upset with myself because I'm like, how did you let yourself get back to this point when you lost all that weight and were doing so good at maintaining it? And some parts of it are definitely my fault. But then some parts, you know, are out of my control too. I think. At least I'd like to believe there. But yeah, it's just super frustrating, but I don't know. I got to get this figured out somehow because the whole migraine thing I'm so over. And it's mostly just from hormones, but I can also get it. Little things will trigger me. Like if my neck is uncomfortable, like I can get it. Like if I sit in bleachers for a long time, there's something about it. Like I always have to sit up where I can lean against the wall because there's something about that, like holding yourself up kind of thing that will sometimes trigger them for me. And can't be funny, talented, and skinny. It wouldn't be fair. This is true. This is true. That's what I think. I'm like, you know what? It just wouldn't be fair if I could have all of these things, you know, together. I like your thoughts. We're on the same page. But yeah, and then it's like, and then other times I'm going, why are you so hard on yourself? Like, does it really matter? Do I look at other people and go, oh, you know, it's too bad they weren't skinnier. Like, who does that? And if you do that, ugh. But like, you know what I mean? So it's like, are people really looking at me going, oh, Danielle, you know, she'd be prettier if she was skinnier. I mean, maybe some people do it, but I don't want those people to be my friend because, oh my gosh. So who even cares? But yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's like that constant battle in life, I feel like, and women have to deal with. Oh, hotels is what I was gonna say is the other thing. Oh man. Hey! Oh yay, I'm so happy you're here. You know what? The clapping and feeling your chin clap. The other day, my husband and I went for a walk because it was really nice out. And I'm like, I had on like these, because I wasn't planning to go for a walk, I was just hanging out in the house. And I had on these stretch pants that were, stretch pants? Is that leggings? Stretch pants? Who am I? I'm like coming back from the 80s right now or something. I don't know. Stretch pants just sounded funny to me. But anyway, these leggings, but they're like actually too big, and so they are not supportive at all. And we went for this walk, and I told my husband, I'm like, oh, this is disgusting. Like, I can feel my butt cheeks moving up and down. Like, I'm not okay with that. So I'm like, maybe it's good incentive. Like, I need to wear these when I'm out, because I'm like, as long as you feel that, you need to keep walking, girl. But oh my gosh. But yeah, we're so hard on ourselves. It's so stupid. And then no matter how many times I tell myself, like, you're fine. You're like, you aren't your weight. You aren't your body. You aren't, whatever. Like, even though I know that to be true, it doesn't make me feel better about like the things about me that are uncomfortable. When you're uncomfortable, you're uncomfortable. Doesn't matter. Everyone else can tell you, you look fantastic. Thank you, Clara. You're beautiful. And I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. But you know how it is when you just feel, oh my gosh, yeah, right. You are not fat. Ugh. You have like that slim, like very classy looking, like, oh, but see, that's the thing. Mandy. Oh my gosh, I do stuff like that all the time. I'm like, girl, get your hips under control. Oh my gosh. Too dang funny. But yeah, we're hard on ourselves. I don't know how to make it like, I think I agree. She's totally seems like that tall, slim, classy, like, yeah, that was really nice the other day when, even though I'm a winter girl and I love the snow, it was so nice to be able to be out and walk around and do stuff like, and just get active that way. I know, Penny, it kind of gets to that point sometimes where I'm like, forget it. We are magical. We are beautiful and magical. Oh, hi. Oh, here's my son. He decided to come in and put me in a headlock. Okay, thank you, Asher. I knew he was up to something. I could hear him running. Oh my gosh. Too funny. Oh my gosh. Oh, I hear you. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. So we were on my son's bowling tournament. Whew, trying to get there. And I bought prunes because I love the way prunes taste. Am I the only one? Like, am I that weird? But I seriously love prunes. And it was so funny because my son was like, what are those? Whatever. Like, they look, ugh. And oh yeah. And being older, like, I mean, the older we get, the harder it is to lose weight. So that makes sense. But so I bought prunes. Well, you probably shouldn't eat like 10 in one sitting. Just a little tip. Just a little tip. And this was the first night of our trip. And so the next day we were at like the bowling tournament, and then we went to dinner, and my stomach, oh my gosh, I'm like, what did you just do to yourself? Like, yeah, it was not good. I could not wait to get back to the hotel room. It was misery. I'm giving way too much information right now. This is the kind of dorky stuff that I do. Like, sorry. But oh my gosh, it's like, just be careful with prunes. That's my little word of advice for today. However, I did buy more because I really like them. But I'm like, eat one or two at a time. Like, you don't need to eat a whole package. In fact, my doctor, who was my best friend growing up, she, well, thank you, Penny. I know, I can only be me. I don't know who else to be. But her husband had put this thing one time on Facebook or something, and it said, start a movement, eat a prune, and that cracked me up. So that's what it made me think of. I was like, oh, I have to eat way more than one for that to happen. But yeah, be careful, kids. Have you guys seen the raisins that are flavored? They're like watermelon and strawberry. I haven't tried them, but what is that? I used to love Pop-Tarts. Okay, and here's the thing too. I don't eat gluten and dairy. So for me to still be able to gain weight when you can't even eat all that, like, what is the matter with me? Ugh. Yeah, I'm not sure about these flavored. They say they're naturally flavored. My grandma and I were looking at them because my grandma was like, oh, that's ridiculous. They're taking a healthy snack for kids and pumping it full of something else, you know? So then we were like reading the package and we're like, oh, well, it says it's naturally flavored, whatever that means, but age gets us. And I'm totally fine with getting older. Like, I'm not, that doesn't freak me out or anything. Like, it's so funny. I'm like, it tells how lazy I am. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of on the lazy side. And I'm like, the idea of like, you don't have to go anywhere or do anything. You can, you know, just hang out at home and sit in that chair all day. I mean, you don't want to sit in a chair all day all the time because that's not good for you. But I'm like, that doesn't really sound that bad for me. Yeah, I didn't see, like, I mean, I don't know. I didn't like really look into it, but it just sounds weird. Yep. Same with me. I'm good with being my age. Like, I would never want to go back to my 20s or something. No, thank you. But yeah, my weight, I'd be happier if I could just maintain that. If I could stay what I stayed for those 3 years, then I would be happy. Oh, like it blows you up. Ugh, I hate that. And that's the thing too. It's like, these are simple things in life. Like, why can't I just, you know, eat a Pop Tart? But I pay for it if I do. Like literally, we went on my son's 21st birthday. Well, it wasn't not his birthday, but to celebrate his birthday, we went out to dinner. And the kids wanted to go to a Chinese buffet, which is always a little sketchy, let's just be honest. And I'm like, oh, there's not a lot of stuff I can eat there because I don't really know what's in stuff. And I'm not like allergic where it's gonna make me like sick. I mean, it makes me sick, but I mean, I've like gotten physically sick from it, but not like to the point where I'm, you know what I mean? Like not like an allergy where you're like, it's dangerous. And but man, I'm not kidding, 2 days I was in misery. I had like the stomach pains that make your like give you the chills. Well, that's good. That would stink if you couldn't. But however, I found some really good like gluten and dairy free like things you can bake and stuff. Like because gluten free flour and stuff and almond milk is a great substitute for regular milk. And I do use butter. I'm not like it's not like I can't have dairy like that. I eat some chocolate. Like let's be real. But yeah, I can't like drink milk, which I don't care because I hate milk. I've never liked it. Okay. And like, but yeah, I'm just, you know, where you can find a ton of gluten-free snacks is TJ Maxx. And we just bought some yesterday. Oh my gosh, Mandy, I love you so much. My sisters both pee their pants. Like, if they get laughing too hard or whatever. And I'm like, you guys, like, they're younger than me. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so funny. We started talking about on our girls' shopping weekends, everyone's going to have to start wearing Depends because we all laugh so much. Yeah. But, hi, good to see you. But yeah, I just like, oh man, they all, I'm like, I don't want whatever it is you got. Like, however, I'm very jealous. Their hair, like I've got such thin, ugh, hair. And my sisters have like, well, my sister was 2 years younger than me. Hers isn't real thick, but it's thicker than mine. And my mom and my youngest sister have super thick hair. I'm like, why did my dad is bald though. Like he did the horseshoe balding. So he shaved his head years ago. Yeah, no kidding. I know, Clara. You know what? Oh gosh, I can't think of her name. That you sent me to, or not sent me to her channel, but you had done a collab with her that does the wig stuff. She was talking about toppers, and I think that is what I need for my, because mine is mostly like right on top up here. Like right here is where it's really, I'm just showing it to everybody. Marlene, yeah. Yeah, prunes are so good. But yeah, just a topper because it's not like my hair, like you see like my scalp all around or anything like that. It's just right there really. And the hard thing is, it's like when I look in the mirror when I'm getting ready, I'm like, oh no, it's good. But everyone is taller than me. I'm not even 5'1". Ugh. You know, and so everyone's taller than me. So I know they can see the top of my head. And here's the worst thing, where I work, like there's cameras everywhere. And so when I go in the office, yeah, see? And when I go in the office, there's like the monitor that shows all the cameras. And one of the cameras is in the office because that's where we do all the money stuff, whatever. And I can see the top of my head in that camera, like while I'm sitting at the desk. And I'm like, no. isn't that crazy how some people, I mean, it's just like, I'm like, give me some of your hair. Like, and I like extensions and I do wear them sometimes for stuff, like just to make it more full, but it doesn't make up here full. And that's where, you know, my main issue is. I bought some of the Batiste, like the for brown hair or whatever spray, because I saw people like do videos where it like made a major difference. It didn't help me though. I mean, I don't think it really works for me. Penny, oh my goodness, your hair, I was like, oh, like, it's so funny though, because it seems like no matter what we have, we complain about it. You know what I mean? It's like, that's just the way it is. I am very short. See, and I've never had like real thick hair, but then when all my thyroid stuff started happening, I lost a lot of hair. I had a really bad like receding hairline, like this after my second son was born. And you can even kind of tell up at my hair here. I've just recently started parting it different, like more on an angle, and I feel like that helps more than the straight back. Thank you. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like someone just said something that I was like, oh, I want to say something about that. I already forgot because that's what I do. Like my mind just, oh man. Today I was so mad. I started recording a video to record an iLook, and right before I did, I had made sure I deleted everything off my phone because I record on my phone. Oh, okay. But still, at least it looks like you have volume, you know? Like, I do not have volume to my hair. Um, and so I came in and started recording, and I'm going along, and all of a sudden I look up, and it's not recording, because you know how on your phone you have to go to, like, recently deleted and delete those too? Well, I didn't do that, so and I'm like, oh my gosh, this happened to me twice this week. I'm like, Danielle, what is your problem? Like, you think after the first time I'd figure it out. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm redoing that. So... what are you gonna do, you know? I can't believe I've already been on here for almost half an hour. Like, I'm just talking. That's why I love at youth group, after, like, you know, we do worship in the beginning, like music and stuff, and then there's like a message, and then we break off into small groups with our groups of kids, which this year I was so used to. I had this group of girls from 7th grade to 12th grade, and there were consistently like 8 girls or more every week. Well, they all graduated last year, and so now I went back down to freshmen this year, and there are 2 girls that are there. Aw, thank you, Mandy. Well, I'm glad you didn't see and go, I'd still rather go to bed. I appreciate that. Wow. See, I take natural thyroid. I take NP thyroid. I used to take WP thyroid, which I think I liked better because it had like no filler things in it. But things got kind of weird with their labs, and they were way behind on manufacturing and stuff, and people couldn't get it. And I was like, okay, this is not happening. So my doctor was like, ah, of course I'm getting low battery. I hate how fast it runs down your phone. But yeah, so I've been on NP thyroid, which my thyroid numbers have been great. Every time I go get those checked, those are good. So I'm so thankful. Well, good night, Mandy. I'm so glad you came on. And yes, 5 a.m. No, thank you. I am not a morning girl in any way. Like, you could tell me, I'll give you like $1,000 to go shopping if you get up at 5, and I'll be like, let me think about it. I love you too. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. You make me laugh. You make me smile. I love you. Aw. That girl, she will make you crack up. If you don't watch Mandy's channel, all of you, please, if you haven't like gone to each other's channels, please do, and like support each other, because I love all you guys. Aw, thank you. I'll tell Asher Hannah said hi. Oh, you know what? Is it Olaplex or something like that? You are always good for a laugh, and you just make me happy in every sense. So, thank you. Bye. I think, is it maybe Olaplex that's supposed to be the one that helps with thinning hair? The shampoo and stuff? I think. Jen, yay, hello! Starts with a B. Oh, biotin? No. No. Is biotin? No. I'm all confused. I'm like, is that the mouthwash thing? Oh my gosh. Yes, that would be awesome. I would love to see you guys. Thank you so much for coming by and saying hi. Get some good sleep. Okay, biotin, that is. Okay, I'm like, am I saying, what is the thing? Is it biotin or something that's for like dry mouth? I don't know. Who knows? I'll be saying, I'll be telling people, oh, use this. And it's like not for that at all. Use that. Hmm. I'm so afraid. If things just cut out, it's just my phone died, just so you guys know. So don't think I just stepped out on you there. But not good if you have thyroid problems. Okay. That's the thing. It's hard. You have to really watch. I had seen these things for like this, like cleanse type thing. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll do that. Just like a little, week detox, like cleanse you out. Well, the thing said right on it, not to use if you take thyroid medication. And I'm like, oh, because it's flushing it out. So then your medication isn't getting into your body. And we need that because I don't want to have a heart attack. My lovely scar that reminds me every day. But yeah, because I definitely like, if I, that was one of the main things before I had my surgery was I used to get, like my heart would race so much and it would get where it makes me cough. And yeah, it was bad. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't want to mess around with that stuff. That's the thing. I'm very healthy besides like having to take that stuff. No big deal. Oh no. That's I hate that with glitter stuff. Like there's some glitter I love like the Urban Decay those glitter liners. They're so gorgeous. But oh my gosh, they're easy. It's not that they're hard to come off, but it just leaves it everywhere and then you're like, okay. I'll have to look at that, Penny. Thank you. Actually, the shampoo I just started using, I've been using the Good and Smart from I think that's what it's called, from Kroger, and I was using the argan oil ones, and because like they don't have a lot of like they don't have like fragrance stuff and things in it because obviously I try to stay away from that stuff. And then I would put like rosemary essential oil and stuff in it. And I loved it. But I've used like gone through 2 sets of it and I was like, I want to switch it up a little bit. And they had a tea tree and mint maybe. I'm looking over because it's over here. Spoiler alert, I record my bathroom in case you don't know, my master bathroom. But so I had gotten that and I feel like my hair's been looking like really extra stringy. So I'm like, maybe it's the shampoo and conditioner. So I might not want to. I didn't add any essential oils to it, but I have heard apple cider vinegar too, and even just doing like a rinse with it every once in a while. I don't know. I gotta look at stuff. And one thing I'll be glad when winter is done, I get so dry only like along my hairline here and just like right in my scalp a little bit, but not everywhere. It's just like mostly right up here, and it drives me crazy. Hi, Amy. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited that so many of you came, and I'm so mad that my dang voice, what am I talking about? My phone. You guys, I'm not even kidding. I don't know what my problem is. I'm such a spaz. Oh, I'm such a flake. Yes, that's what I have too, Clara. Think Dirty, the app. And my husband and I stood in Target one night in the shampoo and conditioner aisle and we're like scanning things and we were like, what the heck? Like it's crazy. And it's fragrance that does it. It's so many things that have fragrance. That's funny. I definitely don't need that. I've got enough natural oils in my hair to do that and on my face. Oh my gosh. But my skin has been so much better without getting so oily now that I've been using the face wash that I make and the oil that I use every day. It's crazy because it seems counterproductive. Like put oil on an oily face. Totally, it's made such a big difference for me. So that's been awesome. I'm so glad to see you guys. And a lot of you are people who I haven't seen in my not my videos. Jeez, Danielle, in my lives before. Clara, I feel like you right now. Like it was cracking me up. Something I was watching today. Oh, and you're like reboot, reboot, reboot. And I'm like, I totally know that feeling. Oh, I need a serious head reboot. I'm just like, yeah. I don't know, like what. Well, I mean, for one thing, it's kind of late in the evening, but that's so funny. It was funny. Like I'm like that was like the perfect like explanation for how you feel. Like oh my gosh, come back to me here. And that's I'm like sometimes I think in something I just recorded recently I was like, oh I've been so flaky lately. I'm like what a flake. What are you doing? Like I don't know. I should have. Oh gosh. Hopefully my camera doesn't cut out. Well, I like never do them, and I just kind of spur of the moment decided to. But this is so funny. On Saturday night at church, they did this thing and they were asking about, you know, like people have their moments of when they came to Christ and you remember it because it's like was such an important part of your life, you know, and whatever. So they were like, you know, if anyone wants to share and stand up and, you know, just stand up and say. So I stood up. Oh my gosh, you guys. And I'm like, and thankfully the pastor that was talking, bye Mary, I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you. Aw, thank you. The pastor that was speaking that night wasn't our head pastor. It was our youth pastor, and we're friends with them and stuff. And he's standing up there, so he's the one saying it. And I stand up and I go, I was in the shower, and then I realized there was a guy had stood up at the same time, and I thought I cut him off. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And he's like, no, it's okay. I just yelled out, I was in the shower in the middle of church, like with everyone surrounding me. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so then I'm like, I was in the shower at the hospital where my son, and he was sitting next to me. So I'm like, he was 15 months old and he had a seizure that they had just gotten him back off of, you know, breathing machines and all that. He was finally conscious for the first time in over 24 hours and whatever. Well, my voice shakes every time I talk about it, like, especially in those types of settings. I get like really emotional because it was the scariest time of my life and also the most beautiful time of my life, you know. Oh yeah, I just busted out. I was in the shower. And so I was telling him tonight. So I did the whole thing, whatever, or, you know, kind of said my thing and sat down. Well, then I just kept thinking about it. And all week I've been like, oh my gosh, Danielle, I cannot believe you stood up in the middle of church and said, I was in the shower. Like, and I'm like, what a weird thing. They're probably like, okay, chick, thanks for sharing, you know, whatever. So tonight at youth group, I was talking to him and I was like, we talked about emotions tonight and, you know, just the different emotions you feel and like how emotions are a healthy thing, but if you let them control you, they're not, and things like that. And just different ways emotions like control you or you control them or however. And I said I was running through a gamut of emotions that night. First of all, I was nervous to stand up and say anything. So my heart was like, I felt like you could see it, you know, pounding out of my chest. And then I finally decided to stand up and say, and then I say that. And so then I was like embarrassed. And I'm like, and then I'm talking about my son. So I'm like, sad, but very happy too. And so I'm like, you know, my voice is faltering and whatever. And I'm like, for the past few days, I keep thinking about it like, you're such an idiot. You know what I mean? And I'm like, no one else is probably even thinking anything of it, but I do that to myself like crazy, like run things through my head a million times. Like everyone thinks you're an idiot. No, they don't. And so then I was like, okay, that is the devil telling you that you are stupid and you shouldn't stand up and say, you know what I mean? Kind of thing. So I'm like, okay, no. And so it was just kind of a cool thing with the way that tied into tonight's message for me because of the situation. And actually I recorded a video about stuff like my faith and my church that same day. And then the message that night on Saturday was about, you know, sharing your faith. And I was like, oh my gosh, like God is so awesome like that. I love how he works. So that was a total side shoot from what the rest of this video has been. But yeah. Oh my gosh. I was in the shower. Yeah, like that visual. Oh man. So, well, I am afraid that my camera is just going to shut off because it just told me that I have 10% battery left. So, and I hate to just leave you guys high and dry, but and that's the thing. Actually, Michelle, Pastor Dan, I was talking to, he said, you know what? There was another girl who said she didn't want to tell people because she was like 4 and was in the bathtub and she was embarrassed to say that. And he's like, and then you stood up and said that. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's a perfect example. And I'm like, because to me, it's an example of how God can meet anyone, anywhere, at any time. Like, it doesn't matter where you are, what the, you know, that's, you know, he met me in the shower at the hospital, you know, and it was the best moment of my life. So, you know, not to be afraid to share things that might even seem like sort of embarrassing or something, like it shouldn't be. I know what you mean, Kathleen. I have a son who, when he like gets embarrassed or upset, he like gets mean, kind of lashes out. God is so good. I'm so thankful for what he does in my life and the people that I have met. And yes, he does use our awkward times, and we are all awkward. If anybody who's like, you know, I used to think all the time I'm such an awkward person. Everybody is awkward sometimes. Like, it's just the way we are, you know? I mean, I don't think there's anyone who's that incredibly confident that they never feel awkward. I think there's people who say they don't, but I don't think there's anyone who actually is. But all right, well, thank you guys so much for being here, and I love you so much. And this was really fun, and I need to do it more. So I am going to try to do this again soon. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Penny, for being my moderator and for telling me how to do it. Said somebody, so that was very helpful. I love you. I'm a dork too, Jen. We're dorks together. We kind of had this conversation. We're dorks together. Love you. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye.